Change management is the art and science of effectively implementing and overseeing changes within an organization. Let's explore the significance of change management and its importance in industries and regulated processes like manufacturing, construction, and healthcare. Change management is all about ensuring that the transitions an organization undergoes are as smooth as possible. Imagine the various changes an organization experiences: adopting new technologies, restructuring teams, or even altering core processes. These changes can be scary if not managed properly. That's where change management steps in, providing a structured approach to handle these transformations. While change management is relevant to all organizations, it takes on an even greater role in industries with precise and regulated processes, such as manufacturing, construction, and healthcare. Manufacturing is an area where precision and quality are utmost important. Imagine a factory that's about to upgrade its production line with new machinery. Without meticulous change management, this shift could lead to downtime, defects, and inefficiencies. By following a well-structured change management process, manufacturers can ensure that the new equipment is seamlessly integrated, employees are trained to operate it, and potential troubles are minimized. Turning our attention to the area of construction, we encounter a sector where safety and structural integrity are non-negotiable. Consider a construction project that needs to switch to a new building technique. Effective change management guarantees that the workforce is trained in the new methods, safety protocols are updated, and the transition doesn't compromise the integrity of the structures being built. In the world of healthcare, change management plays an important role in ensuring patient care and regulatory compliance. Think about a hospital adopting a new electronic health record system. Without comprehensive change management, this could lead to medical errors, confusion among staff, and compromised patient data security. By accurately planning, communicating, and training, healthcare organizations can ensure a seamless transition that doesn't jeopardize patient well-being. Thus, change management is a crucial piece in the organizational landscape. But in industries where precise processes, safety, and compliance are the foundation, it becomes absolutely crucial. Manufacturing, construction, and healthcare, these sectors rely on a delicate balance of procedures and regulations, and any changes must be managed precisely to ensure stability, efficiency, and safety. So, whether we're producing goods, building structures, or caring for patients, change management isn't just a helpful concept, it's a strategic imperative. It ensures that our organizations evolve while minimizing disruptions and maximizing the benefits of change. Change is not a straightforward switch but a multi-layered process that requires careful handling. It's like scoring a grand work where each instrument plays a unique role. Let's discuss why change necessitates forethought, research, planning, and approval. To understand the complexity, imagine an organization as a complex mechanism, much like a sophisticated watch. Within this complex structure, various components, teams, and processes work together harmoniously. Changing a single element, similar to adjusting a gear in the watch, can set off a series of interconnected events. It is also important to understand the role of forethought and research before getting on any change initiative. Forethought and research are essential. It's like studying the territory before embarking on a challenging hike. Thus, this helps us to answer the questions that might arise, such as, what's the purpose of the change? What data supports the need for change? These questions can guide us to anticipate potential hurdles and design strategies to tackle them. Planning then takes center stage. Think of planning as creating a detailed map for a journey. It involves identifying the steps, allocating resources, and setting clear timelines. This stage ensures that every aspect of the change is carefully considered and aligned with organizational goals. Next step is to secure approvals. Securing approval for change is like building a strong foundation for a structure. It involves convincing key stakeholders that the change is necessary and beneficial. Engaging stakeholders early on and addressing their concerns builds trust and fosters a shared commitment to the change initiative. Moving ahead comes the domino effect. In organizations, visualize a line of falling dominoes, each triggering the next. Similarly, within organizations, a change can set off a domino effect. Altering a process might require training for employees, which in turn affects workflows and interactions across departments. This interconnection emphasizes the need to understand how changes impact the entire organization. When initiating change, it's crucial to assess potential risks. It's like preparing for a challenging expedition by packing essential gear. Identifying risks and challenges allows us to develop strategies to mitigate them. This might involve contingency plans, open communication, and constant monitoring of the change's progress. Thus, navigating change within organizations is similar to captaining a ship through intricate waters. It demands strategic planning, foresight, and a deep understanding of how different elements interact. Recognizing that changes trigger a ripple effect empowers us to anticipate challenges and seize opportunities. So, the next time you encounter change, remember the complexity of an organization's moving parts and the potential domino effect. Embrace change as a catalyst for growth and transformation, backed by thorough research, strategic planning, and stakeholder engagement. Armed with these insights, you'll be well equipped to navigate the complex landscape of organizational change. A robust change management process involves several key elements to ensure successful implementation and adaptation to new initiatives within an organization. 1. Identifying the problem at the root of the change. Before initiating any change, it's crucial to identify the underlying problem or opportunity that necessitates the change. Understanding the why behind the change helps establish a clear rationale and sets the stage for effective planning. 2. Submitting a change request. Once the problem is identified, a formal change request is submitted. This request outlines the details of the proposed change, including its goals, scope, and potential impact. Proper documentation ensures clarity and a well-defined starting point. 3. Gaining approval from stakeholders. Change requests need to be reviewed and approved by relevant stakeholders. This ensures that the change aligns with business objectives, resource availability, and broader organizational strategies. Stakeholder buy-in is critical for successful implementation. 4. Developing a strategy to enact the change. A well-structured change strategy outlines the approach, timeline, resources, and potential risks associated with the change. It includes steps for communication, training, and addressing potential resistance to ensure a smooth transition. 5. Tracking the success of the change once it has been implemented. After implementing the change, it's essential to monitor its progress and assess its impact. Tracking involves collecting data, analyzing performance metrics, and comparing them to the goals set during the planning stage. Adjustments can be made if needed. A comprehensive change management process combines these elements to ensure that changes are well-defined, aligned with organizational goals, effectively communicated, and their impact is continuously assessed. This approach enhances the likelihood of successful change adoption across the organization. Change control is a pivotal process within organizations that focuses on the evaluation and decision-making around proposed changes. While closely related to change management, change control specifically centers on determining whether suggested changes should be implemented within the organization. This process exists to maintain a balance between necessary improvements and preventing unnecessary disruptions. Key aspects of change control. 1. Evaluating proposed changes. Change control involves a structured evaluation of suggested changes. These changes can range from adjustments in processes, systems, policies, or procedures. Each proposed change is carefully assessed to determine its potential impact, benefits, risks, and alignment with organizational goals. 2. Preventing unnecessary changes. The change control process acts as a filter to prevent organizations from undergoing too many unnecessary changes. By thoroughly evaluating each change request, the process ensures that only changes with clear value and benefit are approved for implementation. 3. Ensuring benefits and worthwhile effort. Approved changes need to be both beneficial and worth the effort required for integration. Change control ensures that resources are wisely allocated and that changes contribute to the organization's overall success. 4. Decision-making authority. Typically, the responsibility of change control lies with individuals or groups who possess the knowledge and authority to make informed decisions at an organizational level. These individuals are often in management or leadership positions and have a holistic understanding of the company's operations. 5. Objective evaluation. Those overseeing change control play a critical role in maintaining objectivity. They assess change proposals objectively, devoid of personal biases, and make decisions based on the potential impact on the organization as a whole. Change control process. Review of change requests. Proposed changes are submitted as change requests. These requests outline the nature of the change, its rationale, and potential benefits. Analysis and assessment. Change control personnel analyze each request, asking relevant questions and considering the broader implications. They evaluate whether the proposed change aligns with organizational goals and whether it is feasible and cost-effective. Impact evaluation. The potential impact of the change on various aspects of the organization is thoroughly evaluated. This includes operational processes, resources, technology, and potential risks. Decision-making. Based on the analysis, the change control team makes a final decision on whether to approve, modify, or reject the proposed change. Benefits of change control. Efficiency. Preventing unnecessary changes ensures that resources are allocated to changes that truly contribute to the organization's efficiency and effectiveness. Risk mitigation. Comprehensive evaluation minimizes the risk of adverse effects resulting from poorly thought-out changes. Alignment with goals. Change control ensures that all approved changes align with the strategic goals of the organization. Consistency. By maintaining a structured approach, the organization ensures consistency and order in implementing changes. In essence, change control serves as a gatekeeper for organizational changes, ensuring that only well-evaluated and impactful changes are approved for implementation. It promotes prudent resource utilization, minimizes disruptions, and contributes to the organization's overall success. Process three-phase process is a structured framework for managing organizational change effectively. ProSci is a renowned provider of change management solutions, and their three-phase process is widely used to guide organizations through the complexities of change. The process focuses on understanding, planning, and implementing change in a systematic and people-centric manner. Here's a detailed explanation of each phase. Phase 1. Prepare for change. This phase centers on building a foundation for successful change management by understanding the need for change and preparing the organization and its stakeholders. 1. Identify the change. Clearly define the change and its scope. This involves understanding why the change is necessary and what the desired outcomes are. 2. Create a sense of urgency. Communicate the reasons for change to stakeholders. Build awareness of the benefits and consequences of not changing. 3. Build a coalition. Form a team of influential and committed individuals to guide the change effort. This coalition will provide leadership and support throughout the change process. 4. Develop a change management strategy. Create a plan that outlines the approach, roles, responsibilities, and communication strategies for managing the change. Identify potential resistance and mitigation strategies. Phase 2. Manage change. This phase focuses on creating a structured plan for executing the change, addressing resistance, and ensuring that individuals are prepared for the transition. 1. Communicate the change. Develop a clear and consistent communication plan that keeps stakeholders informed about the change, its reasons, and the progress being made. 2. Identify and address resistance. Proactively identify potential sources of resistance and develop strategies to address them. Engage key stakeholders and address their concerns. 3. Provide training and support. Equip employees with the necessary skills and knowledge to adapt to the change. Provide ongoing support to help them navigate challenges. 4. Evaluate and adjust. Continuously assess the change's progress and effectiveness. Make adjustments to the change management strategies based on feedback and outcomes. Phase 3. Reinforce change. In this phase, the goal is to ensure that the change becomes the new norm and is sustained over the long term. 1. Celebrate successes. Acknowledge and celebrate milestones and achievements related to the change. This reinforces positive behavior and outcomes. 2. Reinforce the change. Embed the change into the organization's culture and processes. Ensure that the change becomes a natural part of how things are done. 3. Provide ongoing support. Continue to provide support, resources, and training to sustain the change. Address any lingering resistance and challenges. 4. Measure and monitor. Establish metrics to measure the success of the change. Monitor the impact on performance, employee satisfaction, and other relevant factors. Process 3-phase process emphasizes the importance of understanding the human side of change, addressing resistance, and involving stakeholders throughout the change journey. By following this structured framework, organizations can enhance their ability to manage change effectively, minimize disruptions, and achieve successful outcomes. Let's now discuss the tools or components of change management. Readiness assessments. Communication and communication planning. Sponsor activities and sponsor roadmaps. Coaching and manager training for change management. Training and employee training development. Resistance management. Data collection, feedback analysis, and corrective action. Celebrating and recognizing success. After project review. Readiness assessments, evaluating organizational preparedness for change. Readiness assessments serve as valuable tools employed by change management teams or project leaders to gauge an organization's readiness to embrace change. These assessments encompass a range of methods and techniques that offer insights into the organization's ability to effectively navigate and adopt a change initiative. Through readiness assessments, the project team gains valuable insights into potential hurdles, as well as the opportunities that may arise during the change process. Types of readiness assessments. 1. Organizational assessments. These assessments delve into the organization's structures, processes, and systems. By evaluating the organization's current state, potential barriers and resource constraints can be identified. This helps to determine the organization's capability to accommodate and integrate the impending change. 2. Culture and history assessments. Culture assessments focus on the organization's prevailing values, norms, and shared beliefs. History assessments review past change experiences to unearth patterns and lessons learned. This combination of assessments aids in predicting employee receptiveness and understanding how historical experiences might influence the current change. 3. Employee assessments. Employee assessments concentrate on gauging the perspectives, attitudes, and concerns of employees regarding the upcoming change. This enables the project team to anticipate potential resistance, assess the level of awareness, and identify readiness levels for the change among the workforce. 4. Sponsor assessments. Sponsors play a pivotal role in supporting and driving change. Sponsor assessments evaluate the readiness of key individuals who champion the change initiative. This assessment ensures that sponsors are aligned with the change goals and equipped to fulfill their roles effectively. 5. Change assessments. Change assessments focus directly on the specifics of the change itself. This includes evaluating the scope, impact, and complexities of the change. By comprehending the intricacies of the change, the project team can better strategize its implementation. Assessing the scope of change involves evaluating the extent and scale of a proposed change initiative within an organization. This assessment helps stakeholders, change management teams, and project leaders grasp the magnitude of the change and its potential impact. What to assess? 1. Change magnitude. understanding how big the change is in terms of its depth and breadth. Is it a minor adjustment or a fundamental transformation? This assessment aids in determining the resources and efforts required for successful implementation. 2. Affected stakeholders, identifying the number of individuals or groups who will be impacted by the change. This includes employees, customers, suppliers, and other relevant stakeholders. Acknowledging the breadth of impact assists in tailoring communication and engagement strategies. 3. Rate of change, determining whether the change is gradual or radical in nature. Gradual changes unfold over time with incremental adjustments, while radical changes involve significant and abrupt shifts. Recognizing the pace of change helps in planning and mitigating potential disruptions. Assessing the scope of change provides essential insights for creating change strategies, communication plans, and resource allocation. It guides stakeholders in understanding the implications of the change and helps ensure that the organization is prepared to manage the challenges and opportunities that arise from the transformation. Assess the readiness of the organization impacted by the change, gauging preparedness. Evaluating the readiness of the organization affected by the change involves analyzing the organization's capability and willingness to embrace the upcoming change initiative. This assessment considers the context, potential resistance, and the strengths of change management teams and sponsors. What to assess? 1. Value system and background. Understand the prevailing values, beliefs, and cultural norms of the groups affected by the change. This insight helps tailor communication and engagement strategies that resonate with their perspectives. 2. Existing changes. Determine the volume and frequency of ongoing changes within the organization. Recognize how accustomed the organization is to be adapting and how receptive it may be to another change. 3. Anticipated resistance. Assess potential sources of resistance that might arise due to the change. Recognize the areas where pushback might occur and proactively strategize ways to address resistance. 4. Strengths of change team and sponsors. Evaluate the strengths, skills, and capacities of the change management team and sponsors. This assessment ensures that those leading the change process are equipped to navigate challenges effectively. Taking these first steps in assessing readiness lays the foundation for a successful change journey. By understanding the organization's dynamics, potential resistance, and the capabilities of the change team, the change management process can be designed to address challenges and leverage strengths effectively. Communication and communication planning are integral aspects of effective change management. While managers might assume that clear communication suffices, it's important to recognize that various factors can hinder the successful conveyance of messages to employees. Developing a well-thought-out communication plan is crucial to ensure that messages are understood, retained, and embraced by the intended audience. Many managers assume that if they communicate clearly with their employees, their job is done. However, there are many reasons why employees may not hear or understand what their managers are saying the first time around. In fact, you may have heard that messages need to be repeated 5 to 7 times before they are cemented into the minds of employees. The first step in managing change is building awareness around the need for change and creating a desire among employees. Therefore, initial communications are typically designed to create awareness around the business reasons for change and the risk of not changing. Likewise, at each step in the process, communications should be designed to share the right messages at the right time. Challenges in communication. 1. Noise and distractions. Workplace distractions, external noise, and information overload can divert employees' attention, making it challenging for them to grasp important messages. 2. Different communication styles. Employees have diverse communication preferences and styles. What is clear to one person might not be as clear to another, necessitating tailored communication approaches. 3. Information retention. Studies suggest that messages need to be repeated multiple times, often 5 to 7, to ensure they are firmly retained in employees' minds due to the nature of memory and cognitive processes. Communication planning, therefore, begins with a careful analysis of the audience's key messages and the timing for those messages. The change management team or project leaders must design a communication plan that addresses the needs of frontline employees, supervisors, and executives. Each audience has particular needs for information based on their role in the implementation of the change. Communication planning. 1. Segmentation. Identify different employee segments and tailor messages to their preferences and needs. This ensures that messages resonate more effectively with specific groups. 2. Frequency. Repetition is key. Develop a communication plan that involves multiple touchpoints over time to reinforce the message and increase its likelihood of retention. 3. Channels. Choose appropriate communication channels, such as email, meetings, intranet, or posters, to ensure messages reach employees through their preferred mediums. 4. Consistency. Ensure a consistent message across all communication channels. Discrepancies or mixed messages can lead to confusion and resistance. 5. Feedback loop. Encourage feedback and create avenues for employees to ask questions and seek clarification. This fosters a two-way communication process. Benefits of effective communication. Clarity. Employees understand the change and its implications, reducing ambiguity and anxiety. Alignment. Clear communication aligns everyone's understanding and commitment to the change. Reduced resistance. Addressing concerns and questions proactively reduces resistance to change. Engagement. Effective communication fosters employee engagement and ownership in the change process. Consensus building. Open communication builds consensus and allows employees to voice opinions. In conclusion, communication and communication planning are pivotal to overcoming communication challenges and ensuring that change messages are well received, understood, and internalized by employees. Repetition, tailored messaging, and a thoughtful communication strategy contribute to successful change adoption. Sponsor activities and sponsor roadmaps, guiding change with leadership. Sponsor activities and sponsor roadmaps are pivotal components of effective change management. Business leaders and executives play a crucial role as sponsors during times of change. The change management team's responsibility includes devising a plan for sponsor activities and assisting key business leaders in executing these plans. Research underscores that effective sponsorship is the most critical factor for successful change initiatives. business leaders and executives play a critical sponsor role in times of change. The change management team must develop a plan for sponsor activities and help key business leaders carry out these plans. Research shows that sponsorship is the most important success factor. Sponsor activities. 1. Championing the change. Sponsors lead by example, demonstrating their commitment to the change initiative. They vocalize support, advocate for the change's benefits, and inspire employees to embrace the transformation. 2. Communication. Sponsors effectively communicate the rationale behind the change, its importance, and the expected impact. Their messaging should be consistent, clear, and delivered through multiple channels. 3. Removing barriers. Sponsors identify and address barriers that hinder the change process. This involves removing obstacles, providing necessary resources, and supporting teams in overcoming challenges. 4. Aligning resources. Sponsors allocate the required resources, financial, human, and technological, to ensure the change's success. This demonstrates their commitment to facilitating the change. 5. Engaging stakeholders. Sponsors engage with stakeholders, addressing concerns, and seeking input. Their involvement fosters a sense of ownership and encourages collaboration. Sponsor roadmaps. 1. Assessment. Evaluate the current state of sponsorship within the organization. Identify potential gaps and areas for improvement. 2. Planning. Develop a comprehensive plan for sponsor activities that outlines roles, responsibilities, and communication strategies. 3. Capacity building. Provide training and resources to sponsors to enhance their skills in effectively leading change and engaging stakeholders. 4. Execution. Facilitate the execution of sponsor activities, ensuring alignment with the change management strategy and goals. 5. Monitoring and adjustment. Continuously monitor the effectiveness of sponsor activities. Adjust the roadmap based on feedback and outcomes. Benefits of effective sponsorship. Credibility. Sponsors' active involvement lends credibility to the change initiative. Employee confidence. Visible sponsorship reassures employees and boosts their confidence in the change process. Communication. Sponsors ensure clear and consistent communication, reducing confusion. Barrier removal. Addressing barriers accelerates the change implementation process. Commitment. Sponsors' commitment fosters employee commitment and engagement. In summary, sponsor activities and sponsor roadmaps are essential for guiding change with leadership involvement. Effective sponsorship, driven by business leaders and executives, is a cornerstone of successful change management. A well-structured plan and roadmap for sponsors ensure that the organization is equipped to navigate the challenges and opportunities of change, ultimately leading to successful adoption and implementation. Avoid confusing the notion of sponsorship with support. The CEO of the company may support your project, but that is not the same as sponsoring your initiative. Sponsorship involves active and visible participation by senior business leaders throughout the process, building a coalition of support among other leaders and communicating directly with employees. Unfortunately, many executives do not know what this sponsorship looks like. A change manager or project leader's role includes helping senior executives do the right things to sponsor the project. Change management training for managers. Managers and supervisors play a key role in managing change. Ultimately, the manager has more influence over an employee's motivation to change than any other person. Unfortunately, managers can be the most difficult group to convince of the need for change and can be a source of resistance. It is vital for the change management team and executive sponsors to gain the support of managers and supervisors. Individual change management activities should be used to help these managers through the change process. Training development and delivery. Training is the cornerstone for building knowledge about the change and the required skills to succeed in the future state. Ensuring impacted people receive the training they need at the right time is a primary role of change management. This means training should only be delivered after steps have been taken to ensure impacted employees have the awareness of the need for change and desire to support the change. Change management and project team members will develop training requirements based on the skills, knowledge, and behaviors necessary to implement the change. These training requirements will be the starting point for the training group or the project team to develop and deliver training programs. Resistance management. Resistance from employees and managers is normal and can be proactively addressed. Persistent resistance, however, can threaten a project. The change management team needs to identify, understand, and help leaders manage resistance throughout the organization. Resistance management is the processes and tools used by managers and executives with the support of the change team to manage employee resistance. Employee feedback and corrective action. Managing change is not a one-way street. Employee involvement is a necessary and integral part of managing change. Feedback from employees as a change is being implemented is a key element of the change management process. Change managers can analyze feedback and implement corrective action based on this feedback to ensure full adoption of the changes. 8. Recognizing success and reinforcing change. Early adoption, successes, and long-term wins must be recognized and celebrated. Individual and group recognition is a necessary component of change management in order to cement and reinforce the change in the organization. Continued adoption needs to be monitored to ensure employees do not slip back into their old ways of working. 9. After project review. The final step in the change management process is the after-action review. It is at this point that you can stand back from the entire program, evaluate successes and failures, and identify process changes for the next project. This is part of the ongoing, continuous improvement of change management for your organization and ultimately leads to change competency. Conclusion. These elements comprise the areas or components of a change management program. Along with the change management process, they create a system for managing change. Good project managers apply these components effectively to ensure project success, avoid the loss of valued employees, and minimize the negative impact of the change on productivity and a company's customers.